You're absolutely going to want to listen to this.
5 signs that you may actually be in perimenopause.
Ladies.
This is my estrogen patch.
Your mood is changing.
I was depressed.
Your weight is changing.
Was there an aha moment where you thought, I'm in perimenopause?
I had anxiety.
Hair thinning or hair loss.
Eat this one food every day.
The dose is 0.075.
I cried a lot.
Decreased muscle tone.
2 weeks on HRT.
You're waking up in the middle of the night.
This is for the husbands or partners of women going through perimenopause.
We need to talk about menopause and perimenopause. Social media certainly is. With all that noise, it's hard to know what's real and what's... The Australians Health Team is bringing you a new series on all things menopause and perimenopause. We're speaking with some of the most reputable names in this space to help distinguish fact from fiction. And we'll examine exactly how menopause has become a thriving yet sometimes predatory multi-billion-dollar industry.
It kind of makes me kind of angry.
I'm not suggesting they're harmful, but there's potential financial toxicity.
Everyone born with typically functioning ovaries will go through menopause as they age. Around 85% will get symptoms like hot flushes and night sweats. But for around 20%, their symptoms will be problematic and can also include things like vaginal dryness and painful sex, significant changes to mood like anger and anxiety, and cognitive impairments like brain fog and fatigue. Some of those people might look for help to cope.
I don't want anyone to think that they have to suffer in silence. They definitely don't have to suffer in silence. They definitely don't have to suffer. There are things that can help.
That's Sarah White, the Chief Executive of the Gene Health Centre for Women's Health, which started as Australia's first menopause clinic way back in the 1970s. She's not totally impressed by the scale of the industry.
I was struck by how many commercial interests are now stepping into women's health.
Australian-based Martha Hickey has dedicated her career to women's health and has the CV to prove it. She even helped to write the UK's guidelines on menopause. Her tip to anyone considering trying a menopause treatment they saw online?
My guidance for somebody, if they're thinking, is this going to help me or should I do this, is to ask the question, is this person trying to sell you something? And if they are, then it's probably not real.
It wasn't always like this. Menopause was openly spoken about and treated for decades. Then in 2002, scientists of a landmark US study called the Women's Health Initiative abruptly halted their investigation into a widely used menopause treatment, hormone replacement therapy.
It is a tenth of what a male dose would be.
Early data suggested women in the hormone group were at a heightened risk of serious illness, including breast cancer, stroke, and even embolism. Almost instantly, doctors and patients abandoned it. Funding for menopause research dried up, and those willing to prescribe HRT were considered cowboys. It's now understood the study's initial findings were overstated and didn't include context around risk profiles. But the damage was done. And in the void of information that's taken 2 decades to recover has come social media.
And it has just gone whoosh in those last couple of years. And it has gone so big, which is so great in so many ways because it's been such a neglected area. But of course, with that has now come its own challenges in that there is an expert on every street corner and there is so much information and, again, misinformation.
Part of the challenge is that the information has been there, but the people who are now going through menopause are looking in very different places. And that's a little bit on us that we weren't on TikTok and we weren't on Facebook and Instagram, and we're getting there now.
They have some added tips they want people to keep in mind. The first, not every ailment may be caused by menopause. The time around your 50s is one of big change and a great time to focus on you and your health and well-being. And find a regular GP who suits your needs. Call a GP clinic and ask if there are any doctors who specialise in women's health or which one sees the most female patients.
Not all doctors are created equal. So endocrinologists are hormone specialists They are the people who absolutely specialise in hormones. And so that is sort of like, if you think the top of the tree when it comes to that expertise, there are some really, really good GPs out there who specialise in women's health.
And remember, it's completely normal to not have adverse menopause symptoms. 20% of females won't. We'll dig into all these issues and more as part of our menopause series.